One of the most essential elements that I would work with you on if you're coming to work on anxiety or stress is your breathing. You might not really be aware of how much your breathing affects the whole stress anxiety reaction, unless you're panicking, in which case you're probably pretty darn aware that you're breathing fast, feel like you can't breathe, hyperventilating. But actually, it's a pretty natural reaction when we feel surprised or we feel stressed to begin to breathe faster, to breathe shallower, to actually try to bring in more oxygen, right, to help us get through the situation. But that essentially jacks up your system so that it's like you're preparing for an emergency instead of just getting on a flight. What helps with anxiety is the opposite. Instead of, taking in a big breath and starting to breathe really, really fast, instead we do the opposite, which is like sighing. It's a long exhale, like it's really simple, but in just a few breaths, literally just a few long exhales, it begins to make changes in your brain to bring your system back to even keel so you feel calmer and you can react more appropriately. And you can get on the stage and talk to 100 people without freaking out or get onto an airplane. So right breathing makes a big difference. And it's something I can help you learn and help you learn how to get more out of your breath than you might have realized that you can. That will really help with your anxiety. The other element in working with your anxiety is actually preparing for you to face the situation that you've come in that you're scared of, even if it's panic itself that you've become scared of. So if you're scared of getting on a plane, we want to be talking about you actually getting on a flight. If you're afraid of dogs, we want to be working towards you being able to sit pretty comfortably in the room with a dog, whatever it might be. And the way that we prepare for this is, first I help you with your breathing and learning how to relax your system. But then also we look at what you're thinking about things. Because when people are scared, they're usually not thinking quite realistically. They're usually predicting terrible catastrophes. They have all sorts of ideas about what might happen and how bad it's going to be. It's just not often quite realistic. So I help you figure out what your thoughts are and about the thing that you're scared of. And I help you assess what actually seems to be more accurate or realistic thinking and how you can shift your focus to that. And then we make a plan for you to approach step by step the thing that you're actually scared of. That may not seem too appealing right now, but we work up to it so it's not overwhelming. So we might even begin by imagining. You close your eyes, imagine getting on a plane, and use all of your tools with breathing and working with your thinking, with me in the room, right there with you, to make it a positive and successful experience. And then when you're gaining some sense of mastery and feeling like you can handle things pretty well in imagination, then we move into making a plan for approaching things in the real world, to take a step towards getting on a plane, to take a step towards giving a speech. And I work with you step by step to pace the exposure work, as it's called, so that it's not overwhelming, so that you feel an increasing sense of success and mastery to help you overcome the fear of whatever it is that you've been afraid of or whatever's been making you anxious. If this is interesting to you, please give me a call and we'll talk about how to work with it. Thanks.